With political analyst Brian Sobel, and not a whole lot of time because we could go on and on.
Sure.
But let's start with the president. It is in Southern California right now. How do you think this is playing out in California politics and with California voters?
Well, not well with California voters. The state is not for the Trump agenda around a border wall. But I think for a lot of people across the United States who are Trump supporters, yeah, nice photo op.
Well, San Diego County traditionally was more Republican. Pete Wilson was the mayor. He was the governor. He started the kind of the anti-immigrant wave in California.
Yeah,
with
very
his
true.
propositions.
Very true.
But things are changing.
Things are changing. I mean, the demographics are changing. The voter rolls are changing, and you're seeing that in California politics.
Okay, he's going to skip over Orange County and go to Beverly Hills later tonight. Orange County, that's where Ronald Reagan
that was the base.
Big
that was the big base. But he's got to go where the money is. Okay. And it seems like every national politician now makes a stop in Beverly Hills and picks up the cash from whoever is their supporters there. I'll be interested in knowing sort of the mix.
You know, it's interesting. The president seems to be able to overshadow his own agenda. This would have been a big deal. There's a lot of build-up to this, but it happens, his visit to California, the border wall prototypes, on the very same day that Rex Tillerson is fired as the Secretary of State.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing to watch his presidency as it rolls out over a year now, and clearly he wants to be the center of attention. That's very clear. I think the Tillerson firing was probably expected. They did not see eye to eye on many things. We have the talks with North Korea coming up, and I think he wanted to make sure he had a secretary in place well before that. I mean, well being just weeks. And so it's odd. Like, he could have fired him tomorrow, but today he fires him in the midst of all this other stuff.
If he had waited one day, the big story today would be his visit to the wall.
Right, he'd have a double dip, as they say. You know, today it's border wall, tomorrow it's firing Rex Tillerson.
And he made that interesting comment at the White House before he left for California, saying that I'm getting close to having the cabinet that I want.
Well, my analysis of that is that many of these people in the early days were foisted upon him. These were people that were suggested by the Republican Party or by people who knew how to run government, Ken, and they weren't necessarily his people. And so one by one, he's trying to find his people he sees eye to eye with, and ironically, a lot of them are ex-military, former military.
Right. He seems to appreciate people who are in the military.
Well, I think he likes the discipline.
Mike Pompeo finished first in his class at West Point.
Yes, he did, but went on to Harvard, was one of the editors of the Harvard Law Review. So obviously bright, capable, and the CIA, by the way, has been running well from an administrative standpoint by all accounts since he's been in charge. Rumors
swirling that there will be more people exiting the White House, potentially John Kelly, the Chief of Staff.
Well, that is going to be an ongoing thing. The Chief of Staff, whoever works for Donald Trump, is going to always have his job in question, because if he's keeping people from the president or not seeing eye to eye with the president, he's going to go away, or she's going to go away pretty quick. Okay,
another big thing that's happening today that is kind of pushed aside because of all these other events is the election in Pennsylvania. And this is a district southwest of Pittsburgh, 20 points of victory spread for Donald Trump. And right now, the Democratic challenger is ahead in the polls.
Yeah.
We don't know if he's going to win.
Right. But this shouldn't
even be competitive.
No, but this is one of these bellwether races where the spread was just taken down to nothing, and then the Democrat leaps in front. Polling is polling. We'll see what happens. But I think we're seeing this across the country. People are starting to attach people to the Trump coattails. If that happens, I'm not sure the Republicans do very well.
Yeah, right now it's not looking that way after what we saw in Alabama and now potentially in Virginia.
And a number, Ken, of other races that are being looked at across the country.
All right, Brian Sobel, thanks for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Appreciate it.